Breaking news and welcome to your favorite spot. Like and subscribe to help us grow our community without no further delay. New York couple killed in Rainbow Bridge explosion, plan to go to Kiss concert. The deadly fireball crash at the Rainbow Bridge is now believed to have involved a local New York man and his wife who had ill-fated plans to attend a Kiss concert over the border in Canada on Wednesday night. Law enforcement sources told CNN that the couple, who have not been identified but are said to live in western New York, were traveling in their speeding Bentley when the car rammed into the crossing between the U.S. and Canada and burst into flames. The blast instantly sparked fears of a terrorist attack and prompted Canadian and New York officials to briefly shutter all border bridges between the two nations and ground planes at nearby Buffalo Airport. Hours later, the FBI and New York Governor Kathy Hochul said that there was no signs that the incident was terror-related. Instead, the investigation so far indicates that the couple were planning to cross the border to go to a Kiss concert in Toronto that night. Net migration hit record level of 745,000 in 2022, revised estimate shows. Net migration to the UK in the year to December 2022 was higher than previously thought, hitting a new record of 745,000, according to revised estimates from the Office for National Statistics, ONS. However, the figure for the year to June 2023 is estimated to be lower, at 672,000. The ONS said it is too early to tell if this is the start of a new downward trend, but that the most recent estimates indicate a slowing of immigration coupled with increasing emigration. Home Secretary James Cleverly said the latest figure is largely in line with our own immigration statistics, and insisted the government remains completely committed to reducing levels of legal migration. The previous estimate for the year to December 2022 had been 606,000, but the ONS has since revised this upwards in light of unexpected patterns in the behavior of migrants. Barnsley kicked out of FA Cup over rule violation. Barnsley have been kicked out of the 2023-24 FA Cup after fielding an ineligible player in their first-round tie against Horsham. The League One side overcame Horsham after a replay on the 14th of November, winning 3-0 after a brace from John McAtee and a Nicky Cadden strike. But the FA said in a statement that the Professional Game Board subcommittee decided to remove Barnsley from the competition after a breach of FA Cup Rule 103 during the replay. Aero Boston apprehends Brazilian sex offender in Martha's Vineyard. Enforcement and removal operations, Aero Boston arrested an undocumented Brazilian sex offender November 14 on Martha's Vineyard. Deportation officers from Aero Boston's Fugitive Operations Team South apprehended the 37-year-old non-citizen near his residence in West Tisbury. The Brazilian national is wanted by authorities in his home country for failure to serve a prison sentence for raping a 5-year-old child. The Brazilian national received multiple criminal convictions for raping a child and was sentenced to 14 years in prison. After his convictions and before sentencing, the Brazilian citizen fled the country. In May 2019, upon his failure to appear for his sentence, the Second Criminal Court of Sorriso in the town of Sorriso, Mato Grosso, Brazil, issued a warrant for his arrest. The undocumented non-citizen unlawfully entered the United States on an unknown date at an unknown location without being inspected or admitted by an immigration official. Aero Boston learned of the Brazilian national's presence on Martha's Vineyard on September 28. Aero Boston's Fugitive Operations Team South apprehended him during a vehicle stop and served him with a notice to appear before a Department of Justice (DOJ) immigration judge. The Brazilian national will remain in Aero custody pending his removal proceedings. The delayed temporary ceasefire in Gaza could move forward on Friday. A deal to pause the fighting in Gaza and exchange Israeli hostages for Palestinians prisoners, which had been expected to go into effect on Thursday, is on hold for at least a day, but neither Israel nor Hamas has publicly stated the reason for the delay. Around midnight Wednesday and just hours after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke in a televised, late-evening media briefing where he discussed the agreement, Israel's National Security Advisor Zachi Hanigby said the temporary ceasefire was still on track, according to the original agreement, but that it wouldn't occur before Friday. The reason for the delay was not immediately clear, but Israel's Channel 12 quoted an unnamed Israeli political official as saying, "The delay isn't substantive, but technical." In Qatar, where the temporary truce between Israel and Hamas was hammered out over a period of weeks, the Gulf states' foreign ministry said that talks on a new date and time to implement the agreement were progressing positively, and that an announcement is expected in the coming hours, according to the Qatar news agency. The ministry said the negotiations were continuing with the help of both Egypt and the U.S., to ensure the rapid start of the truce and to provide what is necessary to ensure the parties' commitment to the agreement. The announced 4-day pause in fighting calls for the release of at least 50 of the roughly 240 Israeli hostages seized by Hamas fighters in Gaza during a deadly October 7 attack on Israel. In exchange, Israel would free at least 150 Palestinian prisoners and allow badly needed fuel and food trucks into Gaza, which has been bombarded by Israeli forces for more than 6 weeks. The terms of the agreement allow for it to be extended up to 10 days if Hamas continues releasing hostages. Thanks for watching and please subscribe for more.